To be honest, boxing's never seen nothing like this in the history of boxing. Since it began 250 years ago, it's never seen anything like it. I believe this is going to be great for boxing. I believe we're going to win.
Half after the fight is over, then so be it. I'm already in a no-win situation anyway. To me, it's a win-win. But I'm in a no-win because if I knock him out fast in the first round, they're going to be like, oh man, this wasn't worth it. If I let it go a few rounds and drag it out, they're going to be like, oh man.
I've always been in the gym training. I'm boxing professional fighters. I'm just, activity is great. I had 15 fights when I was younger, and I think activity is great, but I'm prepared.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson come together for a direct confrontation, standing face to face as the atmosphere quickly turns tense. Both legendary fighters trade sharp remarks, and the pressure in the moment continues to rise as their verbal exchange grows more intense.
Shouldn't even bring that shit up no more.
No, they should bring it up. Okay. They should see the difference from there to now.
Gotcha.
Me at my worst, to me at the biggest event in the history of events right now. There's never been any bigger than this. So what they have to say about that?
What does that say about you if you lose?
Well, I'm not gonna lose. So I can't even fathom losing. I can't even imagine it. I think he thinks this is going to be a very easy night. It's not going to be an easy night.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. keeps his composure during the intense face-off, showing clear confidence in himself. Staying true to his personality, he appears prepared to demonstrate that his talent and competitive drive are still very much alive.
Put on cruise control, go out there, have some fun, and do what I do best. And that's be Floyd Mayweather.
Mike Tyson states that he is completely ready to face the challenge ahead. He explains that his training has been more intense than ever, and he appears focused and in top condition, believing he has what it takes to meet the moment.
But the fighter's waiting for his money, and by the time he gets his money, everybody else took their percentage out already. So you don't know who's who. You get what they give you.
You look good. How you feeling physically?
Incredible.
You've been training?
Listen, I was wearing an extra large. It looks like I wear a large.
According to Mike Tyson's trainer, Rafael Cordero, Tyson's current condition is even better than it was before his exhibition bout with Roy Jones Jr. Cordero explains that Tyson looks more focused and physically prepared now, showing greater sharpness than he displayed leading up to that earlier fight.
Perfect time with perfect place now. Whereas Mike put everything together. So mentally, physically, we're excited, man. Excited. If the fight was next Saturday, you will be ready for it. So we talk about Roy was 4 years ago. Today, Mike is much better than he was when he fought.
In training camp, Mike Tyson is working at full intensity. He's reportedly sparring with maximum effort, constantly testing his limits while dedicating himself to serious preparation for the challenge ahead.
We'll put it aside. Okay. I'll be right.
Round one.
Oh, phew. Cut the ring. Exactly. Cut the ring. Exactly.
Jeff Mayweather explains that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has never had an issue embracing the role of the villain. He adds that a matchup with Mike Tyson could test Mayweather's legacy, while also giving him another opportunity to display the confidence and technical ability that define his style.
Why? It's easy, because Floyd always was the bad guy. Once again, he's gonna be the bad guy. And I think that if there's any way to try to remove his O.
At the same time, Tony Jeffries recently commented that Floyd Mayweather Jr. may be motivated by pride in making another return. He suggested that Mayweather struggles with the idea of being out of the spotlight, particularly following the attention surrounding the bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
We've got to make as much money as we can while we can and then get out of the sport. But with these two, they're multi-millionaires. And I want to get into the tail of the tape and talk about exactly the records and all of that stuff with it. But first, I just want to say, like, I believe that these are doing this for different things. Mike Tyson is doing it purely for the money. Purely for the money. Floyd is doing it for the money as well, but also I believe Floyd's doing it for that limelight. You've seen the numbers that Mike Tyson, Jake Paul got, and I think this is the most viewed fight of all time, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I might be wrong in saying that, but I'm sure it was. It was hosted on Netflix. And Floyd's been one in the past with his ego that he wants to just, be in that limelight all the time. And when you're not in the limelight all the time, you want to...
In training camp, Floyd Mayweather Jr. works with intense focus. His movements appear crisp and agile, and he looks notably fresh as he showcases the quickness and accuracy that were hallmarks of his peak years.
Right here, hook. Hook right here. Slide and drop. Push it, wait till help me go. Drop. Walk it. Touch it. Six. Touch it. Touch it.
Short. Look at it.
Watch it. I step back like I have my distance. That's why I step. See, I have my distance. Fighters don't know their distance. You gotta know your distance.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. unleashes a series of forceful, well-timed strikes on the heavy bag. Each punch highlights his quick hands, refined technique, and the intense concentration he maintains throughout the workout.
Okay, touch me down. Hey,
The analyst Henry Cejudo openly questions the path boxing appears to be taking as well-known veterans return for exhibition matchups. He notes that Manny Pacquiao is reportedly preparing for a bout with Ruslan Provodnikov, while Floyd Mayweather Jr. has been connected to a possible meeting with Mike Tyson. From his perspective, these kinds of pairings seem motivated more by financial prospects than by competitive necessity. He describes the trend as unusual and somewhat uncomfortable, particularly when fighters long past their prime are brought back into the spotlight. His concerns grow even stronger regarding Tyson, especially after the intense discussion that followed Tyson's recent, widely watched return against Jake Paul.
That's taking on Mike Tyson of all people. That's the most money motivated thing I've ever heard. It's utterly bizarre. And I don't want to see Mike Tyson anywhere near the ring again, especially after that Jake Paul fiasco. This whole thing's incredibly weird. I don't like it. I'm a proper boxing fan, and these fights to me, this OAP stuff they've got going on when they bring back these old fighters for one more go at each other, it's just not something that I particularly enjoy. Now look, it's going to be on Netflix. It's probably going to be a massive event. I'm probably going to end up covering it because they are two former champions of note, and it is going to go on their professional records. But if you thought the first fight wasn't particularly entertaining, I can't imagine this one's going to be much better. The one thing I will say is that I believe Pacquiao's in better condition than I realized after the effort he put in against Mario.
At the same time, Henry Cejudo acknowledges that the event's reach will be massive, especially with a platform like Netflix backing it. While some critics voice skepticism, the spectacle naturally draws curiosity. He frames the narrative around decline, examining which fighter may have lost more of their former edge. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has been away from the ring for several years, whereas Manny Pacquiao carries the wear of far more career battles. This uncertainty adds a layer of fascination, even for purists who are typically critical of exhibition-style matchups.
Has not had a proper fight in such a long time, which you could argue means he won't be as sharp in the ring. But then on the other hand, Pacquiao's had way more fights than Mayweather has, so you could argue he's got less left in the tank. It's difficult to figure out what it means for either guy, and we don't really know which way it's going to go. But I guess if I'm being really honest, as much as I don't love it, there's always going to be a little bit of intrigue there. Kind of don't like myself for it, but I'm just being honest with you guys. And I think if we want to have a real conversation about what this fight represents, is a continued frustration around the truth about the first fight, which was that it came too late and it turned into more and more of a cash grab. This fight embodies that to a whole new level. Even for the broadcaster Netflix, I don't believe they're truly invested in the sport of boxing. They'll take one-off big events that get them more subscribers, that increase their revenue, that increase their subscription base, but they don't really care about the sport. If they did, they'd be putting on a lot more events than just these mega fights that involve, influencers and fighters that are well past that.
Adola raises significant doubts about the rumored showdown between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson in Congo. He questions whether the fight is genuinely set to happen or if it might quietly lose momentum. The unusually early announcement, revealed in February for a September date, strikes him as odd, since typical promotions run 3 to 4 months in advance. This extended lead time could indicate either a bold global promotional effort or underlying uncertainties behind the scenes. He also considers Netflix's role, noting the platform's growing strategy of producing high-profile, spectacle-driven boxing events.
There's also talk about Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson in the Congo. Is that now scrapped? Why are they announcing this several months before the event? I mean, is it a massive build-up? I mean, when you think about it, most fights are announced 3 months, 4 before an event. This one, September. We are in February, people. Like, what is going on? I mean, what are Netflix doing? Netflix are kind of, obviously, they're picking up and putting on really random stuff. Like Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. If you are an MMA fan, that fight was supposed to happen way more than a decade ago. Way more than a decade ago. They're doing it now. Will it get big numbers? I guess it kind of will. They've obviously done the Jake Paul stuff. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Jake Paul versus AJ. They done massive numbers. Crawford Canelo, a serious fight, and then they're doing...
From crossover matchups to the huge audiences drawn by Jake Paul events, the platform clearly prioritizes broad appeal. Adola acknowledges that the approach is effective, even if it seems unpredictable at times. Despite his doubts about the spectacle, he expresses genuine admiration for Floyd Mayweather Jr. His love for boxing developed over the years, from witnessing Mike Tyson's dominance to following British legends, and ultimately returning to the U.S. scene because of Mayweather's skill. He considers Mayweather one of the rare fighters who combined marketing genius with in-ring intelligence, a balance similar to what Conor McGregor achieved in his own domain.
Massive, massive Floyd fan. Like, my journey into boxing, obviously when I was young, it was very much Mike Tyson, but then it went and became a UK thing. The ITV days of, I don't know, Ben Eubank, etc., Michael Watson, and then eventually Joe Calzaghe, Prince Nassim, etc., etc. My reason for going back and watching American boxing is solely down to Floyd. Like, I was obsessed with everything Floyd Mayweather did. I thought he was a genius when it comes to marketing and a genius in the ring. Like, it's very rare that the two go together, which is why I think everyone kind of fell in love with Conor McGregor, right? Because Conor McGregor was a genius outside the ring in terms of how to sell a fight. And in the octagon, he actually proved that he can fight as well. Floyd, obviously on a completely different level, but you know what I mean? Very similar. Someone that talks the talk and walks the walk. And Floyd most certainly did.
Despite widespread media chatter about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s finances, Wade Plemon firmly dismisses any suggestion that he is struggling financially. He points out that reports claiming massive debt are misleading and overblown, that at the same time, Plemon acknowledges that the matchup is extremely profitable and that financial reward plays a major role in bringing it together. While some might see this as purely commercial or disappointing, he frames it as a strategic decision that balances Mayweather's enduring competitive drive with the realities of opportunity. In Plemon's view, the event serves both as entertainment for fans and as a demonstration of Mayweather's savvy management of his career and personal brand.
Mayweather had financial troubles because of the money he owed to the IRS, because of the terrible, terrible business and real estate investments that he's made, and apparently Some of these have gone under, and he is owed back rent, or he is owing back rent, and he is delinquent on a lot of payments for a lot of different things right now. These things seem to have added up for Floyd, and now it's pretty apparent that not only is he doing these, bank robbery style exhibitions, but it looks like he absolutely needs to do it, which is very, very sad. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Floyd Mayweather as an individual outside of the ring, but I never want to see athletes have their money mismanaged or mismanage their own money so badly that they go broke in retirement, and it looks like that's kind of what's happening. And here's a snippet from Business Insider because it made me want to pay for the entire article.
Ariel Helwani offered a pointed take on the upcoming clash between two legendary boxers, highlighting concerns that have sparked debate among fans. He argues that the matchup seems largely unnecessary, questioning the merit of bringing fighters back at a stage when their careers are long past peak performance. For Helwani, the bout feels more like a spectacle than a true sporting contest, as both athletes are beyond their prime and no longer possess the full physical capabilities they once had. He cautions that the potential risks could outweigh any entertainment or financial gains, stressing that the fighter's health and safety must remain the top priority. His remarks echo a wider conversation in boxing about reviving former champions, particularly when such events appear driven more by publicity or profit than genuine competition. While fans may be excited to see familiar names return to the ring, Helwani advises prudence, noting that age inevitably impacts speed, reflexes, and stamina. In his assessment, the fight may be unnecessary and carries the risk of diminishing the legacies of both competitors rather than enhancing them.
He strongly denies any kind of financial distress, but the headlines aren't slowing down. $54 million alleged dollars in debt. So it makes sense why they would want to do this, and it's strictly for money. Let's be honest. This is a clear money grab, but this is going to be a terrible fight. This is not going to be a fight that anyone outside of watching Mike Tyson walk to the ring and the idea that maybe he'll knock out the little guy in Floyd that for a long time didn't like. For a long time called Floyd a small little angry, small little scared man because he couldn't walk his kids to school by himself, mainly because Floyd had, he kind of disrespected Muhammad Ali, who was Mike Tyson's favorite fighter and one that he would never put himself above. But Mike's 60 years old. And if there was a time for Mike to get him and knock him out or whatever, it never would have happened because they were in completely different weight classes and XYZ. If you wanted to settle it outside of boxing, that's one thing, but now they're stepping into this exhibition. There's not going to be any weight classes.
Johnny Nelson recently shared his observations on the anticipated showdown between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather Jr., highlighting details that might escape casual fans. And he notes that despite his age, Mayweather still moves with exceptional speed, power, and precision, showing a sharpness that can surprise even experienced observers. In training, he displays a surprising youthfulness in his technique, striking the heavy bags with focused intensity that reflects decades of disciplined preparation.
These economic times, there's economic challenges. These corporations and companies, they're looking to make profit. And if they put out a pay-per-view, and a lot of people, another thing is the fighters. I'm blaming the fighters too, because there's a lot of guys, they're not bigger than the fighters of yesteryear. That's why you can have a Floyd Mayweather and a Mike Tyson whose brands are so big. This is going to be a big fight. It's going to be, just because it's a freak show, circus fight, whatever you want to say. Some people are going to be mad at it. I don't want to see it, blah, blah, blah. But the curiosity is always going to get the best of the masses, especially if they put this on Netflix or Amazon or whoever, right? And that's the reality. A lot of these new fighters, Gen Z fighters, people under 30, they're not marketing them.
Nelson also highlighted the personal side of life as a boxing legend, pointing out that the choice to step back into the ring often involves more than just pride or competitive drive. Factors such as financial obligations, family considerations, and the wish to remain prominent in the sport all influence the decision. While some fans express concern about potential risks to a fighter's legacy, Nelson emphasizes that these athletes still possess exceptional skill. They are capable of performing at a high level, combining years of experience with natural talent and careful, strategic preparation.
Then you're going up against Floyd Mayweather. This guy was unbeaten as a fighter. He's still physically has ring craft. He still physically can move about the ring and do what he has to do. I think for Mike Tyson, he's going to be very frustrated. He will want to lay a shot on him to get rid of him, but unfortunately, you slow down. Father Time gets the better of us all. And even though I think when it comes to a fan's favourite, I'm quite sure most of the fans would love to see Mike Tyson put Floyd in his place, and that's probably what will be the attraction as well. But you've got to remember, Mike Tyson's 59 years old. You've got to remember, Floyd Mayweather is still hitting the bag in the gym. He's still moving around, even though he's 48 years old. But you've got to remember, these guys are individuals. They're fathers, they're brothers, or whatever. And they still want to earn a massive chunk of money. Where's Mike Tyson? Whatever they're getting paid. Where's Mike Tyson at 59 going to earn this kind of money? Where's Floyd Mayweather at this time of life going to make this kind of money? It doesn't matter what we say about legacy. These guys have still got to live. These guys are still thinking, you know what, I'll take the heat, I'll take the criticism, but you know what, my bank account's all right, my family's all right. And I know it's crude, and I know it takes the shine off it, but that's real talk. So these guys are now in a position where where people want to pay them a lot of money to fight each other. It's against somebody they don't like. So again, ego's going to get the better of common sense with Mike, as far as I'm concerned.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.